Last year, we walked into our living room after spending more than $2,000 on Christmas decorations. Everything looked nice, but something wasn't right. The tree had expensive ornaments, the mantle had costly garlands, but it still didn't have that magical feeling we wanted. That's when we discovered something interesting. Creating a beautiful Christmas home isn't about spending lots of money. It's about knowing the right tricks. This year, we did something completely different. We transformed our entire house into a Christmas wonderland for just $500. Yes, you heard that right, $500 for everything. And here's the funny part, our neighbors thought we spent even more than last year. We found amazing ways to make cheap decorations look expensive, and today we're sharing all our secrets with you. Remember those beautiful wreaths you saw at the fancy stores for $90? We made the exact same look for just $15. That designer table setting you spotted in the magazine? We created it for less than $20. And our Christmas tree? People can't believe we decorated it mostly with dollar store finds. But wait, before we show you how we did everything, let me tell you about our biggest discovery. We call it the 3-layer method. It's so simple that we couldn't believe no one told us about it before. This method works with any budget, any room size, and any style. The best part? You can start using it right away. We went to all the regular stores: Dollar Tree, Target, Walmart, and even Amazon. But the trick wasn't just about where we shopped, it was about what we bought and how we used everything. For example, we found this one $5 item at Target that completely changed how our whole display looked. And those cheap plastic ornaments from the dollar store? We'll show you how to make them look like they're from an expensive boutique. Throughout this video, we'll show you exactly how much we spent on everything. No secrets, no hidden costs, just real numbers and real results. We'll also share all the mistakes we made in the past, so you don't waste money like we did. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll know every single trick we used to create this magical Christmas transformation. From making your tree look fuller without buying more ornaments, to creating beautiful centerpieces that look expensive but cost almost nothing. And yes, we'll even show you that special Target hack that everyone keeps asking about in our comments. But first, let's talk about the most important thing we learned: the 3-layer method that changed everything. The 3-layer method. Let's start with something we wish we knew years ago: the 3-layer method. Before we discovered this, we used to just put decorations everywhere without any real plan. But now, we understand that creating a beautiful Christmas home is like making a delicious cake. It's all about the layers. The first layer is what we call the base layer. Think of it like the foundation of a house. For our Christmas tree, this meant starting with the basic lights and plain ornaments. But here's what most people don't know: we didn't buy the expensive lights this time. Instead, we used 3 sets of cheap warm white lights from Walmart. The trick was in how we placed them. Instead of just wrapping them around, we went deeper into the branches. This simple change made our tree look twice as expensive. Now, here's where it gets interesting: the second layer. We call this our focal layer. This is where most people go wrong. They try to make everything special, which ends up making nothing special. In our living room, we picked just 3 spots to be our focal points: the tree topper, the mantle center, and one corner of the room. For these spots, we did spend a little more money, but not much. We found amazing pieces at Target's after Christmas sale last year. Quick tip: that's the best time to buy your special pieces for next year. But the real game changer was our third layer, the magic layer. This is our favorite part because it cost almost nothing but made the biggest difference. We used simple items that most people already have at home. Those plain glass vases you never use? We filled them with dollar store ornaments and battery-operated lights. That old silver tray from your kitchen? It became a stunning centerpiece base. Here's a secret that saved us so much money: we didn't buy everything new. We looked at what we already had and used our 3-layer method to make it work better. That old garland that never looked quite right? We fluffed it up, added some dollar store picks, and suddenly it looked like a high-end piece. Let's break down exactly what we bought for our base layer. We started at Dollar Tree. They had these amazing plastic ornaments in different sizes. Most people just hang them randomly. but we'll show you our special arrangement trick that makes them look like designer pieces. Then we went to Walmart for the lights, and trust us, their basic lights work just as well as the expensive ones when you know how to place them. For our focal layer, we discovered something interesting at Target. They had these beautiful mercury glass decorations that looked exactly like the expensive ones from Pottery Barn. We bought just a few of these to create our special moments. Remember, you don't need many expensive pieces when you know where to put them. Now let's move into our living room and see how we put all these layers together. Christmas tree transformation. Now that you know about our 3-layer method, let's start with everyone's favorite part, the Christmas tree. Last year, this same tree looked okay, but this year, it looks amazing. The best part? We spent less than half of what we spent before. Let's start with what most people get wrong, the tree base. Before adding any decorations, we discovered a simple trick that made a huge difference. We took 30 minutes just fluffing the branches, but not in the usual way. Instead of just pulling them apart, we created what we call diamond spaces between each branch. This made our tree look fuller without adding a single decoration. Here's where we saved the most money: the lights. Instead of buying those expensive LED strings that cost $25 each, we bought 6 boxes of basic white lights from Walmart for $4 each. But the magic wasn't in the lights themselves, it was in how we placed them. We started deep inside the tree, pushing each string about 6 inches into the branches, then working our way out. This created a beautiful depth that made our tree glow from the inside. Now for our favorite dollar store hack, those basic round ornaments that everyone has. We bought 3 sizes: large, medium, and small. But here's the trick we discovered by accident: we didn't hang them all the same way. We placed the largest ones deep inside the tree first, then the medium ones in the middle, and finally the small ones on the outer branches. This created what we call the waterfall effect, and it looks just like those expensive designer trees. Remember those empty spots every tree seems to have? We found an amazing solution at Dollar Tree. They had these sparkly picks that looked just like the $8 ones from Target. We bought 20 of them for just $20 total, and used them to fill any gaps. The secret was to point them slightly upward. This made the tree look fuller and more expensive. For our tree topper, we tried something different this year. Instead of spending $40 on a new one, we took 3 sparkly picks from Dollar Tree, added some ribbon we already had, and created our own designer-looking topper. Everyone asks where we bought it, and they can't believe we made it ourselves for just $3. Here's another money-saving trick we discovered: mixing textures. We added some matte ornaments among the shiny ones, some frosted picks between the sparkly ones, and even some plain ribbon between the decorative ones. This simple mixing made everything look more expensive, even though most items came from the dollar store. The final touch was something we almost forgot: the tree collar. Those beautiful metal ones cost around $100, but we found a clever alternative. We took a large basket we weren't using, cut it in half, and wrapped it around the tree stand. After adding some battery-operated lights inside, it looked even better than those expensive collars. Now, looking at our finished tree, you'd never guess that most decorations came from Dollar Tree and Walmart. We spent less than $100 total on new decorations, but our tree looks like those $500 designer ones you see in magazines. Let's move on to the next big transformation, our fireplace mantle, where we use some really clever tricks to create a high-end look. Mantle and fireplace transformation. After finishing our tree, it was time to tackle the fireplace mantle. This is where we made our biggest mistake. Last year we spent over $200 on fancy garlands that didn't even look that special. This year, we did something completely different and only spent $45 total. The results? Even better than before. Let's start with the base, the garland. Instead of buying those expensive pre-lit ones, we bought 2 basic green garlands from Dollar Tree. Now, here's our game-changing trick: we didn't just lay them on the mantle. First, we twisted the 2 garlands together, which instantly made them look twice as full. Then, we shaped them into soft waves instead of keeping them straight. This simple change made such a big difference. But the real magic happened when we added our secret weapon, $1 greenery picks from Dollar Tree. We bought 15 of them and tucked them into the main garland. Here's the trick: we didn't space them evenly. Instead, we clustered them in groups of 3, creating what we call focal points. This made our $2 garland look just as full as those $80 ones from the fancy stores. For lighting, we tried something new this year. Instead of using regular string lights, we found these battery-operated copper wire lights at Walmart for $5. They're super thin and flexible, so we could weave them deeply into the garland. The best part? No visible wires and no plugs hanging down. We used 2 sets, and the batteries last for weeks. Now, let's talk about those expensive mercury glass decorations everyone loves. Instead of buying them, we made our own. We took regular glass vases from Dollar Tree and used looking glass spray paint from Walmart. It cost us $8 for the paint and $3 for 3 vases. After 2 light coats of spray paint, they looked exactly like those $30 vases from home decor stores. For the stockings, we had a big problem. Nice ones cost at least $25 each, and we needed 4. Our solution? We found plain red stockings at Target for $3 each and added our own decorations. We used ribbon and pretty buttons we already had, and some sparkly snowflakes from Dollar Tree. Total cost? $16 for all 4 stockings, and they look custom made. Here's another money-saving trick we discovered: layering. Instead of buying one expensive centerpiece for the middle of the mantle, we created depth by layering different items. We started with a mirror we already had, added those DIY mercury glass vases in different heights, and filled them with sparkly picks and battery-operated candles. The whole arrangement cost less than $20 but looks like something from a designer catalog. For the finishing touch, we added small touches of gold throughout the display. We spray-painted some pine cones we found outside, added a few gold ornaments we had from last year, and wrapped some Dollar Tree wire ribbon around the edges of our stockings. These little touches of gold tied everything together and made it look more expensive. One last tip that made a huge difference: we didn't overcrowd the mantle. We left some empty spaces between our decorations. This actually made everything look more expensive and intentional. Sometimes, less really is more. Now that our mantle is done, let's move to another important area: our dining table, where we created a stunning centerpiece that everyone thinks came from a high-end store. Dining table transformation. Let's move to our dining table, where we created something really special without spending a fortune. Last year, we bought one expensive centerpiece for $150. This year, we made something even more beautiful for just $35, and it stretches across our entire table. Here's how we started. Instead of buying an expensive table runner, we found this simple white one at Walmart for $8. But we didn't use it the regular way. We added a clever twist: we folded it in half lengthwise to make it narrower. This simple change made it look more elegant, and it gave us more space for place settings. Now, for our favorite part, the centerpiece. We didn't buy those expensive pre-made ones. Instead, we created our own using 3 main items from Dollar Tree. First, we bought 5 glass cylinder vases in different heights. That's just $5 total. Then, we got 2 packs of those battery-operated fairy lights for $2. The real game changer was what we put inside. We mixed cheap silver ornaments with white ones, then added some fake snow at the bottom. The whole thing started glowing like magic when we turned on the lights. But here's where it gets interesting. Between these glowing vases, we laid a simple garland. Not the expensive kind. We used 2 basic pine garlands from Dollar Tree, the same ones we used on our mantle. We twisted them together just like before, but this time, we added something special. We found these beautiful silver-painted pine cones at Target in their bargain section, $3 for a whole bag. We tucked them into the garland, and suddenly everything looked so much more expensive. For the place settings, we tried something new. Instead of buying fancy charger plates that cost $8 each, we found silver plastic ones at Dollar Tree. They looked a bit cheap and shiny at first, but we fixed that. We lightly sprayed them with some leftover-looking glass spray paint, making them look like aged silver. Everyone thinks they're expensive antiques. Here's a money-saving trick for the napkins. We bought plain white ones from Walmart for $5. but the magic was in how we folded them. We'll show you this super easy folding technique that makes them look like they're from a fancy restaurant. Then we added simple silver napkin rings from Dollar Tree, and the whole look came together beautifully. The best part about our table setting is that we kept everything neutral silver, white, and green. This means we can use most of these items all year round, not just at Christmas. We just change out the garland and some decorations for different seasons. For the final touch, we scattered some small tea lights and clear holders between all our decorations. The trick was to not place them in a straight line. We created little clusters here and there. When everything was lit up, the whole table sparkled like it was covered in diamonds. Those tea light holders? Also from Dollar Tree, 12 for $1. One last tip that made a huge difference: height variation. We made sure not everything was at the same level. Some vases were tall, others short, and we even raised some on small books covered in silver paper. This created what designers call visual interest, and it makes everything look more professional. Now let's move to another important area: our windows and walls. We found some amazing ways to decorate them without putting a single hole in our walls. Window and wall decor. Moving on to our windows and walls, this is where we really saved money this year. Remember those expensive curtain swags and wall decorations we saw at the stores? Well, we created the same look for less than a quarter of the price. Let's start with the windows. Last year, we made a common mistake: we bought those pre-made window swags for $45 each. This year, we found a better way. We bought simple green garland from Dollar Tree, the same kind we used on our mantle and table. Here's our clever trick: we draped it differently. Instead of just hanging it straight, we created a soft curve over each window. Then we added those same dollar store picks we used on our tree. The whole window treatment cost just $7, but it looks like those expensive $50 ones. For the walls, we tried something totally new. We had this empty wall that needed something special. But instead of buying expensive wall art, we made our own holiday display. We found these large plastic snowflakes at Dollar Tree, 3 for $3. Most people just hang them as they are, but we made them look expensive with a quick spray of metallic paint we already had. Then we arranged them in a cluster instead of spreading them out. This simple change made them look like an expensive wall installation. Here's a cool trick we discovered by accident. We had some extra ornaments from our tree, so we tried something different. We used clear fishing line from Walmart, just $2, to hang groups of ornaments at different heights near our window. When the light hits them, they look like floating Christmas bubbles. Everyone asks where we bought this art installation. They can't believe we made it ourselves for less than $5. Now for our favorite money-saving hack: mirror decorating. We already had a plain mirror on our wall, but we wanted to make it more festive. Instead of buying an expensive Christmas wreath to hang over it, we created a frame around the mirror using dollar store garland and some leftover ribbon. We added small battery-operated lights, the same ones from our table centerpiece, and suddenly our basic mirror became a stunning focal point. Another great trick we used was for our blank wall spaces. You know those fancy wall hangings they sell at craft stores for $40? We made our own version using 3 embroidery hoops from Walmart, $6 total, some greenery picks from Dollar Tree, and ribbon we already had. We arranged them in a group of 3 at different heights, added some small ornaments, and created beautiful wall art for less than $10. For the windows at night, we added something special. Instead of buying those expensive light curtains, we found a cheaper solution. We bought 2 sets of basic icicle lights from Walmart, $8 total, but hung them differently. Instead of putting them outside, we hung them inside, behind our sheer curtains. This created a soft, magical glow that looks amazing from both inside and outside. Our last wall decorating tips saved us the most money. Instead of buying new artwork, we took our regular pictures and wrapped them like presents using leftover wrapping paper and ribbon. It cost us nothing extra, but it transformed our whole room into a Christmas wonderland. Now let's move to one of the most important parts of any Christmas decoration: the entryway. We found some amazing ways to create a magical first impression without spending too much. Entryway Transformation. Our entryway was the space that worried us the most. It's the first thing people see when they visit, and last year we spent over $300 trying to make it look special. This year, we transformed it for just $75, and honestly, it looks even more welcoming. Let's start with the biggest change, our DIY wreath. Those beautiful pre-made wreaths at the stores were selling for $89 or more. Instead of buying one, we started with a basic $5 wreath from Walmart. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We bought 3 types of picks from Dollar Tree, some sparkly ones, some with berries, and some plain green ones. We didn't just stick them in randomly. We created a pattern: sparkly picks first, then the berries, and finally the green ones to fill any gaps. Total cost? $15, and it looks just like those expensive wreaths. For the console table, we tried something completely new. Instead of buying expensive decorations, we used things in groups of 3. We took 3 glass vases we already had and filled them with ornaments from Dollar Tree. The trick was in the arrangement: 1 tall vase, 1 medium, and 1 short. We put white ornaments in one, silver in another, and a mix in the third. When we added those $2 fairy lights inside each vase, the whole display started glowing beautifully. Above the console table, we had this plain mirror that needed some Christmas magic. Instead of hanging expensive decorations, we made what we call a light frame. We took basic garland from Dollar Tree, added some battery-operated lights we had from our table decorations, and draped it around the mirror. At night, it creates this soft glow that makes everyone look better in the mirror, a happy accident we discovered. Now, let's talk about the floor space. Those beautiful lanterns they sell at home decor stores? They wanted $45 each. We found plain lanterns at Dollar Tree for $1.25 each and spray painted them with metallic silver paint we already had. We bought 3, placed them in different heights using some old books wrapped in silver paper, and added battery-operated candles inside. Total cost? Less than $10, but they look just as good as the expensive ones. Here's a clever trick for small entryways. We didn't have much floor space, but we wanted to add more festive touches. Our solution? We hung 3 different sized snowflakes from the ceiling using clear fishing line. They were just $1 each from Dollar Tree, but after spraying them with some glitter spray, they look like crystal decorations. At night, when the lights hit them, they create beautiful shadows on the walls. For the final touch, we added something that made a huge difference: scent. Instead of buying those expensive Christmas scented plugins, we made our own natural air freshener. We filled a small glass bowl with water, added some cinnamon sticks, cranberries, and pine clippings from our backyard, then floated a tea light on top. It cost almost nothing but made our entryway smell amazing. One last budget-friendly idea that worked really well: we wrapped empty boxes in beautiful paper and ribbon to create pretty packages. We placed these near the console table, and they add such a festive touch. The best part? We can reuse these boxes next year. Now, let's move to what might be our favorite transformation: the staircase. We found some incredible ways to make it look magical without spending a fortune. Staircase transformation. Let's move to our staircase, where we made pure Christmas magic happen without spending hundreds. Last year, those fancy staircase decorations at the stores were priced at over $200. This year, we created something even more beautiful for just $45, and it looks like it came straight out of a holiday movie. First, let's talk about our biggest discovery: garland layering. Instead of buying those thick, expensive garlands, we got 3 basic pine garlands from Dollar Tree. Here's the trick that changed everything: we twisted all 3 together before putting them on the stairs. But we didn't just wrap them around the railing like everyone does. Instead, we created soft swags between each banister post. This simple change made our cheap garlands look full and expensive. Now, here's where we got really creative with lights. Those pre-lit garlands were selling for $60 each, but we found a better way. We bought 2 boxes of regular white lights from Walmart for $8 total. But the magic wasn't in the lights, it was in how we placed them. We wove the first string through the inside of the garland, then added the second string on the outside. This created this amazing depth of light that makes everything glow from within. For the bows, we tried something different this year. Those pre-made velvet bows at the craft store were $12 each, and we needed 6. Instead, we bought 2 rolls of wired ribbon from Dollar Tree, 1 red and 1 gold. We learned to make our own bows using a super simple method. Each bow cost less than 50 cents to make, but here's the clever part: we made them oversized. Big bows always look more expensive, and they fill more space for less money. Let's talk about our favorite part, the ornament clusters. Between each bow, we hung small groups of ornaments at different lengths. We used fishing line and basic ornaments from Dollar Tree. But here's the trick: we mixed 3 different finishes: shiny, matte, and glittery. When you combine different textures, everything looks more expensive. Each cluster cost about $3 to make, but they look just like those $20 ones from the fancy stores. We also added something special to the posts, what we call mini swags. We took those same dollar store picks we used on our tree and mantle, grouped them in 3s, and tied them to each post with thin gold ribbon. Then we tucked in some small battery-operated light strands we found at Dollar Tree. At night, these little light clusters look magical. Here's a money-saving trick nobody talks about: we only decorated every other post. This actually looks better than decorating every single one, and it saved us half the money. Plus, it makes the decorations we did use stand out more. For the bottom of the stairs, we tried something new. Instead of buying those expensive pot fillers, we made our own display. We found these plastic urns at Dollar Tree and spray painted them silver. Then we filled them with a mix of dollar store picks, some painted pine cones, and leftover ornaments. We added battery-operated candles in the middle, and at night, everything glows beautifully. One final touch that made a huge difference: we weaved some silver beaded garland through our main garland. It was just $1 per strand at Dollar Tree, but it catches the light and adds this beautiful sparkle that makes everything look more expensive. Now let's share some of our best money-saving secrets that worked in every room. These budget tricks helped us save hundreds while making everything look more expensive. Budget secrets. Now that we've shown you all our room transformations, let's share our biggest money-saving secrets. These are the tricks that helped us save over $1,500 this year, and they work for any style of Christmas decorating. First, let's talk about our best discovery, the after Christmas sales. Last year, right after Christmas, we went to Target and found so many amazing things for 75% off. We bought those beautiful mercury glass ornaments that were originally $20 for just $5. We stored them away, and now they're the stars of our decorations. The best things to buy after Christmas are tree ornaments, ribbon, and any kind of lights. They'll still be perfect next year. Here's another secret that saved us hundreds: mixing stores. We never buy everything from one place. Dollar Tree is perfect for basic ornaments, picks, and garlands. Target's bargain section had amazing small decorations for $3 to $5. Walmart was our go-to for lights and basic greenery. Then we found some special pieces on Amazon when they had lightning deals. The trick is knowing what to buy where. Let's talk about our favorite Dollar Tree tricks. Those basic glass vases they sell? We bought several and created different looks. Some we filled with ornaments and lights, others we sprayed with looking glass paint, and some we used for candle holders. Each one cost just $1.25, but after our little upgrades, they look like expensive decor pieces. Here's something we learned about ribbon: you don't need the expensive kind. We bought basic wired ribbon from Dollar Tree, but we used it differently. Instead of making perfect bows, we created loose, flowing designs. The movement makes the ribbon look more expensive. And when we mix different ribbons together, like a shiny one with a matte one, they looked even better. Our biggest money-saving tip was something we call the Rule of 3. Instead of buying expensive single pieces, we bought cheaper items and grouped them in 3s. 3 small candles look better than 1 big one. 3 medium-priced wreaths made more impact than 1 expensive one. This trick worked everywhere: on tables, walls, and even on our tree. Now, about lights, we never bought those expensive LED string lights. Regular lights work just as well if you know how to use them. We always bought the warm white ones and used more strings than recommended. It's better to have too many lights than too few. And here's a tip: we wrapped lights around everything, not just the tree. More lights always make things look more expensive. For ornaments, we discovered something interesting. Cheap ornaments can look expensive if you follow one rule: stick to a color scheme. We chose silver, white, and gold this year. Even the dollar store ornaments looked fancy because everything matched. And we always bought more ornaments than we thought we needed. You can return the extra ones if you don't use them. One last budget tip that made a huge difference: we saved everything. Those empty shipping boxes? We wrapped them as decorations. Pine cones from the backyard? We painted them silver. Even old ornaments that looked tired got a quick coat of spray paint and looked brand new. Now let's move on to some advanced decorating tips that will make your home look like it was done by a professional. Advanced pro tips. Let's share some special tricks that professional decorators use, the kind of tips that make any Christmas decoration look amazing, no matter how much you spent. We learned these from watching lots of decorating videos and trying different things, and they really work. First, let's talk about something decorators call visual triangles. We use this trick everywhere, and it's so simple. When you put decorations on any surface, arrange them in a triangle shape. On our mantle, we put the tallest thing in the middle and shorter things on the sides. On our tree, we created little triangle patterns with ornaments. This one trick made everything look more planned and professional. Here's another pro secret: we discovered layering lights. Instead of just using one kind of light, we always use 2 or 3 different types together. On our tree, we put the regular string lights first, then added some cluster lights, and finally some sparkly battery lights. Each layer of lights did something different. Some gave the main light, others added sparkle, and some created depth. Together, they made everything glow like magic. We also learned about something called negative space. This means leaving some empty spots between decorations. Most people try to fill every space, but professionals know better. They leave some empty areas to give the eye a place to rest. We tried this on our mantle and tree, and suddenly everything looked more expensive and intentional. Color was another game changer. Instead of using lots of different colors, we stuck to 3 main ones: silver, white, and gold. But here's the trick: we used different shades and textures of these colors. Some things were shiny silver, others were matte silver, and some were sparkly silver. This made everything look coordinated but not boring. One pro tip that really helped was about height variation. We never put decorations at the same height. If we had 3 candles, we put them on books or boxes to make them different heights. When we hung ornaments, we used different length strings. This created what decorators call visual interest. It makes your eye move around and notice all the pretty details. Here's a smart trick about greenery: professionals always mix different kinds together. We took our basic garlands and added picks with different types of leaves and textures. Some were shiny, some were matte, some had berries, and others had pine cones. This made our cheap garlands look full and expensive. Light placement was another pro secret we learned. Instead of just putting lights on the front of things, we put them in layers: some in the back, some in the middle, and some in the front. This created depth and made everything look more magical. We even put lights inside vases and behind wreaths for extra sparkle. The last professional trick we learned was about creating focal points. In each room, we picked one main thing to be the star. In the living room, it was the tree. In the dining room, it was the table's centerpiece. Everything else in the room was pretty but a bit simpler. This way, your eye knows exactly where to look first. Now let's show you our complete home tour, with the total cost breakdown for everything we used. Final reveal and wrap up. Now it's time for our favorite part, the complete home tour. Let's walk through each room and show you how everything came together. Remember, when we started, our goal was to create a magical Christmas home without spending too much money. Well, get ready for the final cost breakdown. It might surprise you. Starting in our entryway, look how the silver lanterns glow and the wreath welcomes everyone. That whole entryway setup? Just $75 total. Remember those dollar store snowflakes catching light from the ceiling? They look like crystal decorations now. The best part is how everything glows at night. It's like walking into a Christmas movie. Moving to our living room, our tree is the star of the show. From the base to the topper, we spent exactly $100 on new decorations. Those layered lights we talked about earlier create such a magical glow. And see how the ornaments cascade down in that waterfall effect? Nobody believes these are mostly dollar store finds. Look at our mantle now, all those layers working together perfectly. The garland looks so full and expensive, but remember, it started as basic dollar store greenery. With our twisting technique and added picks, we created this luxurious look for just $45. Those DIY mercury glass vases sparkle beautifully among the lights. In the dining room, our table setting still amazes us. The centerpiece with those glowing vases and twisted garland cost only $35 to create. Those silver charger plates everyone thinks are antiques? Just painted dollar store finds. See how everything sparkles when the lights hit it just right? Our staircase transformation might be our biggest achievement. All those layers of garland, the oversized bows, and those ornament clusters working together, and we did it all for $45. At night, when all the different light layers are glowing, it looks magical. Let's talk final numbers. Last year, we spent over $2,000 on Christmas decorations. This year, our total was just $500, and that includes everything, all the lights, ornaments, garland, and those special touches that made everything look expensive. But the best part isn't even the money we saved, it's how much better everything looks. Here are our top 3 tips to remember. 1. Layer everything: lights, garland, and decorations. 2. Stick to a color scheme, it makes cheap things look expensive. 3. Mix stores, get the right things from the right places. And remember our secret weapon, the 3-layer method. It worked in every single room, making everything look professionally decorated. We hope this video helped you see that you don't need to spend a fortune to create a beautiful Christmas home. All it takes is some creative thinking and knowing the right tricks. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more decorating ideas. And let us know in the comments which money-saving tip was your favorite.